Yo, yo, yo. What it do?
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
What it do? Beautiful people of the Bear Down Breakdown podcast. Welcome, everybody, to episode 16
16.
of Bear Down Breakdown. We are your co host. I am Eli,
And I am Bruce.
and we are here to give you all things Chicago Bears. The best
Bear
way that we
down.
can do it. You ain't got to go nowhere else but right here. Yeah, we got another loss to talk about, but it feels like a win.
Yeah.
Um, Bruce, we this is something I feel like I've never heard or said. I'm sure you've never heard or said in the long life that you've lived.
Whoa.
Um,
Whoa. Wait. You, long life that I live. What that mean?
you just not that you're super old or anything. I'm just saying
It's just
you've lived a long life so far,
y-
and I hope it keeps going.
dang.
But have you ever heard
About to kill me
somebody
off.
say, "We have a quarterback"? Have you ever heard that?
In my long, short lived life, I have not. I have not, man. And it's real. It's the real deal. And to see it, you know what's cool, and I know we'll get into it, but to see it from the genesis, you know what I'm saying? To see it from the beginning and just to see how it's just slow. And we know he's not there. We know he's not, but man, do you see it? You see it's just starting to come together and it's fun. It's fun to watch,
Yeah. And we'll break it down later. But yeah, guys, we have a quarterback. It's crazy. But before we talk about this game versus the Dolphins, I want to ask you, B, as I do every week, checking in. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm blessed. Um, got a lot of peace in my life and started a new job and it's amazing. And you know the things with starting a new job, you got to get acclimated to everybody. You got to get acclimated with what you're doing. But you know, man, it's cool. I'm just happy. Um, I'm at a point in my life, in my short, long life, that um, you said in your long life. I'm just trying to get over what you said, but uh, I feel like you're trying to kill me off. Your 74 years of living, B. I feel like no, I'm good though, man. I'm in a good place mentally, and that's important. That's very important in today's climate to just be in a good place mentally. So I feel like I'm there. So I don't have much to complain about.
Hmm. Good, bro. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good to
How you
hear.
doing, man? How you doing?
I'm all right. We we just recently got a new puppy,
I saw that, man. I saw it.
and we still have our old soul, Brock, who's a blue nose pit bull. But now we got a little dog, and I'm not used to those.
I,
Um,
yeah. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry,
no, go ahead.
but you have to give a better. I feel like you have to give more to what your dog is, not the puppy you just got, but to your pet.
Brock.
Yeah, you have to like that's a horse. That's a horse, bro. That dog, that's one of the biggest dogs. A friendly dog will protect his family, but that is probably the biggest dog I've seen in my life. And so when I came over to the crib to watch the game with you, I'm not gonna just I can admit that now because I wasn't gonna admit it then. I was scared a little bit. I was
Yeah,
just a little
yeah.
bit.
I mean, a lot of people are. But I mean, yeah, just like to paint the picture, he's your typical big-headed 90-pound
Oh my god.
pit bull,
Yeah.
and he looks intimidating. He doesn't have cropped ears. We didn't want to do that. He doesn't have a cut tail. We didn't want to do that because we are decent human beings and we don't do that to dogs. But Yeah, he still looks intimidating. Like
Oh my
when we would
god.
walk him around the neighborhood, people will walk across the street when
Mhm.
they see us walking by.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean the reason why I got him was because I wanted to end the stigma, the pit bull
Yeah.
stigma that
Yeah.
people have against the breed, and he's been the epitome of that. I mean, everyone that meets him, even if they're intimidated by him at first, they love him.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and he loves other dogs. Like I just said, we just got a little small puppy, 6 month old, and loves to play. And Brock is playing with her. And it's great. Like
Yeah.
he's a good dog. He's a
I
good
saw
dog.
the picture. I saw the picture of the puppies standing next to Brock, and I was like, wow, wow, that's that pit is big, man. That's a big dog.
Yeah, compared to her, he's
Yeah,
huge. He
yeah.
could fit pretty much her whole body in his mouth.
Oh, oh, no
Yeah,
doubt, no
yeah.
doubt. So, what made you get the puppy though? What made you and Becca get the puppy?
My father-in-law. Shout out to my father-in-law. He had the dog,
Okay,
and we didn't. He had to move out of the house that he was in, and the his new living situation didn't really. Uh, he couldn't have the dog, so he was
that's
gonna like.
yeah, that's stupid. I mean, we living in everybody has a pet, so how can you not allow?
Yeah, it was
You
more of the
know,
people he was living with, not
got you.
necessarily the building or anything.
Okay.
But yeah, and we didn't want him to obviously give her up to an adoption or anything. And we figured now that we have a house that we own, we have a
Hmm.
backyard, we have space kind of for her, so we just decided to take it. So
It's cool, man. It's
yeah,
cool. It's a beautiful
we
thing.
thank you, thank you. So
Yeah.
yeah, just dealing with that, puppy situation with. I mean, I haven't gone through this in a while, but now with
Hmm.
2 kids
Cool.
and a puppy
Yeah.
and a big dog. Thankfully, Brock is a lot older. He takes care of himself. We ain't got to worry about none of that. But yeah, just going through the puppy phase right now is tough. It is tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I'm good. I'm good. Besides that, going through that, I'm good. Excited for something, and I'll talk about that later during our rec of the week. But very excited for something.
Uh-oh. Meow, meow,
Very.
meow, meow.
You might not be as excited because I don't think it's up your alley, but I'm
Oh,
gonna tell it anyway
okay.
later. Sneak peek.
Yeah.
Make sure
All right.
you tune into or stay tuned to the end of the episode when I give y'all that. Anyway, we in 10 minutes in the episode. We haven't talked Bears yet, so let's
Let's
talk Bears.
let's do it. Let's get into it.
So guys, Bears lost to the Miami Dolphins. 35-32. Very, very close to our score predictions.
What we predicted, definitely. Yeah.
I said 34-31. I can't remember exactly what
I,
you
s-
said.
I think I said 37-34 Bears.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So still in the 30s, still
Hmm.
lost, or still, a 3 point game. We both predicted the Bears to win, which, by the way, it could have ended in that situation if we just got a little help.
Yeah.
Freaking dumbass zebras.
The officials. Yeah.
But anyway, this game, probably one of the funnest games of the year
Hmm.
in the NFL. Just high scoring. It was a shootout. You know, the Dolphins have an explosive offense. We expected for Tua to come in and have success against our what we I guess can call a defense.
Yeah. Mhm.
They're really bad. But yeah, he threw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Him and Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, they were just lining it up, made
Yeah.
everything look easy. Um, but man, guys, Justin Fields ran for 178 yards, threw for 3 touchdowns, rushed on a touchdown, scored 4 TDs on the day, had a pass rating of 106.7. People love to throw out that he only had 123 yards passing. Y'all could do that if you want. But I mean, it's very obvious if you watch the game that again, we've been saying it all year. It only tells very, very little of the story. Um, you had a moment where Justin Fields, runs to the sideline, and Dolphins head coach, what's his name,
McDaniel.
McDaniel, tells
Mhm.
him to stop it,
Right.
stop scrambling, which was a funny moment. You saw Justin Fields smile on the sideline, but yeah, this was just an explosive game
Mhm.
from a dynamic quarterback that happens to be on the Chicago Bears, which is still crazy to say. Um, but Bruce, let me get your thoughts on this game.
I tweeted this Sunday. I said, I don't think we've had this much excitement for one player since the Derrick Rose era. Um, and I mean, we know what the city was like, watching Derrick Rose night in, night out do the things that he do. And the Bears are now like must. I think they're must see TV, and that's hard to say for a team that's 3-6. And that's simply because of our quarterback. Like he's the real deal, and he's just scratching the surface. And you saw that a few weeks back. And it started. Um, and you saw a glimpse of it in the glimpse of it in the Minnesota game. But then the game is just it's starting to slow down for him. And shout out to Gatsby. We say it every week. It's just seem like a common thing with him and the play calling and what he's doing to put his dynamic quarterback in a position to succeed. It's certain things like it's certain special athletes that we see on TV, whether it's football, baseball, basketball. It's just certain things that you can't teach them. And you saw that run from Justin Fields, the 61-yard touchdown run. Like that wasn't designed. He was looking to pass, and I mean he was really looking at every option to pass, and then he just took off and turn what was supposed to be a negative into something dynamic and is going to be part of his highlight reel. He was the best player on the field for the Bears. I would even say he was the best player, between both teams. Just far as just the explosiveness and just how dynamic he is. When you look at his numbers and you look at the 178 rushing yards, he broke the single game rushing record for a quarterback, which was previously held by who?
Michael Vick.
My guy, yes. And then we talk about his running ability, and everybody kind of poo-pooed his passing numbers, but he threw 3 touchdowns. But that throw to Darnell Mooney,
To
that was
Darn.
probably one of the. I think that was his best throw of the season. Um, that was just a perfectly placed ball, and Coach Eberflus, he's talked about just the deep pass that Justin Fields. That I mean, that's his specialty, and though we haven't seen it much this year, I mean that play in itself, that was just a perfectly thrown ball. So at the end of the day, for us to be like, it's not we're excited, and I know a lot of people around the country are just like, oh well, you guys haven't had a quarterback in never. True, true, but this is something special. Like you just see it. You just starting to see it, and we're excited, man. We're excited, and watching Justin Fields, just like I said, he's must see TV. He's must see TV now.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is the best quarterback in the division this year,
Right now. Yeah.
right now. Hands
Yeah.
down, he is the best quarterback. You look at the quarterbacks, and Aaron Rodgers. We know he's a Hall of Famer, first ballot, but not. You look at him not every Sunday. Is it's hard. It's difficult for him this year. Justin Fields is the best quarterback, um, in our division right now, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah. Being that you have a Hall of Famer in the division.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh, I have a couple stats to throw out there. Obviously, you gave the 178 passing yards is the most by any quarterback in a single game in the regular season. In the regular season, Colin Kaepernick had like 180 something in a playoff game, so which is insane. But in the regular season, Justin Fields now holds the single game record at 178 yards. He's also the first player in NFL history with 3+ passing touchdowns and 140 rushing yards in one game.
Hmm.
Justin Fields twice in this game hit over 20 miles per hour running, guys. Y'all got to understand how fast that is. In the game against Dallas, he hit a run that was like 21 miles per hour, which
Yeah.
this dude, and people love to compare and say that, oh, he's like another Mike Vick or another
Mhm.
Lamar Jackson. Those two guys, their running styles, Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick have a very similar running style where they're twitchy and they're more
Right.
quick.
Right.
They're quick guys. Justin Fields is like a long stride.
Long stride. Yeah. Yeah.
He's not very his quickness doesn't pop off at you, but once he hits that top speed, once you got him sprinting,
That's it.
good luck. Like, you better have a good angle on him, or
Yeah.
else you're probably not going to catch this dude. So I don't. They just run differently. So I wouldn't necessarily say that he's another Mike Vick. But it's crazy because at Ohio State, you didn't see Justin Fields do this. Like, at Ohio State, he was a passing quarterback that could run.
Exactly. Yeah.
In the NFL, Luke Getsy has kind of unlocked something to where he is now a running quarterback that can pass.
Yeah.
And granted, I don't want Bears fans to think that I'm poo-pooing on his throwing ability. This kid can make every throw on the field. There is not a throw on the field that Justin Fields cannot make. Touch throw, a dart, long, short, whatever it's got to be, I fully believe Justin Fields can make that throw. He's just not at that point yet, I believe, in his quarterback maturity in terms of, passing from the pocket, where he, you can let him throw 35 times from the pocket and succeed. So, but man, his Justin Fields, I lost my train of thought. He's so damn explosive. Like, you gave the comparison to Derrick Rose. And then the last Bears player that I can remember that this was this exciting was Devin Hester. And you get up there, you're talking about comparing him to Devin Hester and Derrick Rose. As an explosive player, I mean, you got guys out there that are saying that he's the most dangerous quarterback in the league right now. You got guys.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Justin Fields hype train is insane.
It's real. It's
real. I mean, it's something that we've been saying since Deep Dish in Sports when we drafted him. I mean, as soon as he got called on draft night, it was like immediate hope.
Yeah.
We've been trying to preach this to people for so long, and there's been so many people that even still, because he's not throwing for 300 yards, aren't completely sold on Justin Fields. He'll get there. He'll get to the point where he's back to that Ohio State where he is a passing quarterback that can run. I truly believe that he will get there eventually. But right now, it's just something with this offense that you have to take advantage of that's working. You have to stick with until it's not working anymore.
Right.
And you already gave the props to Luke Getsy on Justin Fields. I want to give props to Luke Getsy about another thing as well. Like, we just signed Chase Claypool 2 days before this game. He got 26 snaps.
Yeah.
26 snaps. He was targeted 5 times. Also had the play in which the referees didn't call. Would have been the game-saving play because Justin Fields saw a one-on-one matchup. He threw it up to a big wide receiver. DB knew he was too small, so he hugged him, grabbed him down. It should have been a call. It should have been the play that saved the game and probably would have, got us into overtime. But there's been too many times where I've seen the Bears pick up somebody either through trade or through free agency or through waiver wire or something, and then we wonder where he's at.
Right.
We're like, didn't we just pick up this guy? He's not even
Yeah.
playing any snaps.
Right. Right.
You got Chase Claypool comes in 2 days before the game. Luke Getsy gets him ready and prepared for 26 snaps and 5 targets just 2 days after. That's super impressive, and I think Luke Getsy deserves all the credit for that.
Definitely.
Because that's something I'm not used to seeing.
You
in
know,
Chicago.
man, like you know what's really encouraging about Getsy and just this and what this offense is doing is that you're literally putting the players in position to do what they do best. And it's encouraging, like you said, to trade for Chase Claypool and then, you know, give him plays that he's familiar with and where he can succeed. You know, and you look at the same thing what they're doing with the quarterback with Justin Fields. You look at what they're doing with Donnell Mooney. Like you do, like you're putting these guys in position to just do what they do best. And again, it's one of those things where, you know, it sounds so like common sense, like, well, duh. But when you haven't seen it in Chicago in so long, especially from the offensive side of the ball, and to finally get a coach that's competent enough to be like, okay, I see your strength, so this is what we're gonna do. I see your strength, Darnell Mooney, and this is what we're gonna do. Hey, Cole Kmet, welcome back. And you know, that's my guy. That's my Notre Dame guy. So to see him, you know, to see him now, they make a conscious effort to now get him the ball and put him in positions where he could just beat his, like, to see that on the offensive side of the ball, man, it's so encouraging. It's so encouraging. Like, I really, the last 3 weeks, man. When was the last time you actually sat and just said, man, I really enjoy this Bears offense? I really like watching the Bears offense. It's like the greatest show.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing, man. So just shout out to the coaching staff, shout out to Getsy and I mean they playing, and I know we're not in our preview show yet, but they playing the Lions on Sunday. And
Bro,
I'm just like,
their next
man,
like 3 games are against really bad defenses. So
yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. But yeah, I can't remember. And I mean, the Bears are averaging, I think, 31 points a game their last 3 games. I can't remember that being the case where all of those points were scored offensively.
Offensively, exactly.
Like
Exactly.
it's some, and I tweeted something like that, and someone came at me and said, "Oh, in 2018 they had 4 straight games of 30 points." And then I came back at him and said, "How many of those games were scored on the defense?
And then
How many points did the defense score in any of those games?" And he said,
yeah.
"Go look it up."
And then you probably got blocked because you know Twitter's so sensitive when you correct somebody.
Yeah. But yeah, I cannot remember. Here, I have another stat about how many times this offense is scoring right now. The Bears have scored on 53.1% of their drives over the past 3 weeks, which is the highest rate in the league right now.
Wow.
The highest
Wow.
rate in the league. It just seems like every time the Bears get the ball, you're almost confident that they're at least going to go down and get a field goal at the
And look,
very least.
and granted, you know, Miami, the Dolphins defense is not, it's not the best. I mean, they have two. I love their defensive ends, by the way, in Chubb and Phillips. Um, but they don't. I mean, you know, they don't jump out as one of the. But they're doing it against. They did it against the Dallas defense, and they did it against the New England defense. And if you watch the game, if you see what New England did defensively on Sunday, I
Right.
mean, those are two really good defenses in Dallas and New England. So it's not just, you're not just doing it against like these
Scrubs.
really, right, like you're doing it against the really good defensive teams in the NFL. And man, like to see, like, what was encouraging was the fact that they stayed in the game. Like last year, this would have been like 53-0. You
Yep.
see what I'm saying? Early in the season, this probably would have been a blowout. But the fact that this offense, the progression with this offense to actually keep up with a team like the Dolphins who are so explosive, but to just be like, I mean, let's be honest. a pass interference call away, like you said, from tying the game, and then no telling. Like I don't anybody that's named Equanimous. Like don't come
Can we
to.
talk about that?
Yeah.
Like
Let's just get
he's
into it.
he's I'm so ready for him to not be on the team anymore.
I'm
And listen,
done. Yeah.
it's crazy because he's a really good blocker. Like there are some plays that Equinemius St. Brown sets the edge. Like if he's not in on that play, some of these running plays probably don't work.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you can't just be in on run plays because then you come into the game, defense knows you're in the game to run the ball because they know you're a good blocker and that's all you do.
Exactly.
You can't have that. Like you got to play receiver too. You got to be able to catch the damn ball and run a route.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, man.
Equinemius St. Brown he's proved time and time again that he's had too many drops, too many situations where it's like, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm ready for that experiment to be done. Go back to Green Bay. How about that? That'd be dope. I'd love to see that guy in Green Bay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that last sequence, like we talked about it. Justin Fields only threw for 123 yards, but I mean that last throw on fourth down that he dropped was a dime.
It was a dime on the run too. Oh my God.
Was a dime, man. And you just the dude can't get any help right now.
Yeah.
It's like he deserves so much better. Justin deserves so much better. And he's carrying this team. And
he is. Which is what we wanted. I mean, that's what we wanted, right? That's what we talked about in the beginning of the season. Like
that's what I said. I said the only thing that Justin is going to prove this year, offensively, with this offense, even with the Chase Claypool trade, whatever, is that whether or not he can carry on offense.
Well,
and I get it. The first 4 weeks were rough. A lot of people were already giving up on him. Not us. I mean, we were kind of our ears were up. We were like, what's going on here, Justin?
Right.
What's happening? But we didn't give up on the kid. We're calling for him to be benched or for them to draft another quarterback this year or anything like that. But you see the progression, you see the development, you see, man. Another thing that I said in the offseason before the season started was that you're going to see the difference, how much of a difference coaching makes in football.
Yeah.
Like competent coaching and teaching. You just see it.
Definitely.
Like, man, I couldn't even imagine how bad this offense would be if it were under Matt Nagy. Same roster. Just take out Luke Getsy, put in Matt Nagy. I could not even imagine how bad this offense would be.
Yeah.
And I know, like, a lot of Bears fans are over Matt Nagy, and they just say, get over it. He's done. He's not here. I get it. But at the same time, to really appreciate the progression of Justin Fields and the Bears offense in general, you do kind of have to look back and be like, man, coaching makes such a difference.
It's huge.
Competent coaching here and it's not just about play calling. It's about knowing your personnel. KYP.
Yeah.
Shout out to Stacey King. Like, know your personnel. Who you got. Know what kind of quarterback you got. Know what kind of offensive line you got. Know what kind of receivers you got. And man, Luke Getsy, he I don't think it's going to be this offseason, but he's going to be a head coach.
Yeah, that's the tough part. Like you see that but when was the last time a Bears offensive coordinator?
Adam Gase.
Oh,
and that year wasn't even good. That wasn't even after a
exactly.
good Bears year. Like
that was to the Dolphins too. That was to the Dolphins, and you see he didn't last long because they got a new coach. They didn't had a few coaches since then. So
yeah, I would advise anyone who's looking to hire Luke Getsy, just look at what the Denver Broncos are doing right now, because they just hired the offensive coordinator from Green Bay. And they're not looking very good. So if Luke Getsy gets hired, they won't be very good. So just keep him in Chicago.
Exactly.
Just keep him in Chicago. Just have him retire here and grow old with Justin Fields.
Yeah.
in a beautiful marriage,
Mhm.
a beautiful offensive marriage. But yeah, trying to think if I have anything else on this game. Do you have anything else?
I don't. I mean, we could. I don't want to talk about the defense as it's the poor tackling. It's nobody that really stood out defensively. So we don't have to get into that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to talk about it this game, but Ryan Poles has an interesting offseason on his hands
He does. He does.
because your quarterback is now showing you that he is completely worth investing in.
Hmm.
And I get it. You just traded a second round pick for Chase Claypool, so that may, um, that may lessen your need to get as many weapons now than maybe a couple weeks ago. But still, like the dude needs an offensive line.
Hmm.
You can argue we still need a number one wide receiver because Chase Claypool will be a damn good 2. Darnell Mooney would be a damn good 3. Can you imagine if he had a number one on this offense?
Oh my God.
Um, David Montgomery, what are you going to do with him? Are you going to re-sign him? Are you going to let him go? If you let him go, what else are we going to do at running back? I like Justin Herbert, but he can't pass protect. So it's like, and then to kind of tie this into the defense has so many holes.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of.
We might
You
have the
kind of see that
worst.
now, right?
We might have the worst front seven in the league right
Yeah.
now.
But I think the positive with that is that you're looking at the defense. Just I don't see any starters like outside our secondary. I don't see any starters in that front seven. So what do you? So what do? You create depth. And if you can fill, with free agency and the draft picks, the surplus of draft picks that you have, if you can kind of build that front seven up, and you also have the guys that's playing this year that's trying to prove that they want to, you know, be a rotational player, whatever the situation may be, then that's cool. But that's all I'm looking at is like who's worth, you know, creating that depth that you need in the NFL. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
that's just my only take with that with the front seven right now.
yeah, I mean, and that goes for like the whole entire roster. I think
Right,
Ryan
right.
Poles, sorry, not the other guy, Ryan Poles. Just looking at the entire roster, just seeing like,
Hmm.
okay, who's going to be a guy for us next year?
Yeah,
Because there's so many dudes that are on just 1 or 2 year contracts that are just easily let go after this season. Um, but yeah, I mean, he has his hands full, and I feel like we say this after every season and every off season. Um, but this one is pretty important because
it
next
is.
year, I mean, listen, Ryan Poles did a great job at freeing
Hmm.
up cap space. He did a great job at getting picks for old guys that we weren't going to resign or that just didn't make any sense on a rebuilding team. But now you have them.
Right.
Now you have cap space. Now you have draft picks.
Hmm.
So now, guess what? You don't have excuses.
Right.
So I mean, everyone talks about Ryan Poles, being great and how when he got hired, the Bears were in such a great position because he was a good young football mind,
Hmm.
and that's all fine and dandy. But this offseason, he has no excuses, and uh, he's going to prove whether or not he's a good GM in this offseason alone.
Right.
Now,
Right.
granted, of course, with the draft and with free agency, you can't really judge those for another 2, 3 years. So he buys himself some time. But this offseason, we are going to look back in 3 years and say either Ryan Poles built us a championship team or Ryan Poles set us up for failure.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those two. There's no in between.
Yeah. But I feel
So
like we got our quarterback. So
that's
that's a
and
start.
that's yeah,
That's a
and
start.
and thank you Ryan Pace for that.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's the one thing.
Yeah. That's the only thanks we give you, Ryan, is that you actually did the smart thing, and it wasn't that hard, but go figure. But you actually got it right. So
Yeah. Um, yeah. Well, uh, guys, we have a quarterback. I'm just going to keep saying that
yeah.
because I think we as Bears fans deserve that. And, you Bears fans out there, you keep saying that.
Right.
We have a quarterback.
Exactly.
We have a franchise quarterback that we can build around who's
Beautiful.
23 years old and has still even scratched the ceiling,
Yeah.
not even scratched the ceiling on what he can do passing the ball. You're
Yeah.
seeing what he can do running the ball.
Right.
I feel like he's at his peak right now in that phase of the game, but he's only going to get better throwing the football. So yeah, it's okay to get excited.
It is.
Shout out to my cousin Oli. If you're listening to this, get excited, bro. It's okay. He keeps telling me, "Oh, we still gotta wait and see. We still gotta wait and see."
Yeah. Two
He's
Super
gonna,
Bowls in, Ole's still gonna be saying the same thing. So it's all good. It's all good. Ole gonna be Ole, man.
yeah. I'm trying to get him to buy in.
Yeah.
I'm trying hard. Um, but yeah, anything else you got?
Man, it was just again, it's just a great performance by Justin Fields and the offense. Excuse me, and the offense as a whole. So I'm looking forward to previewing the Lions game. On the next show. I think that's going to be another high scoring affair because neither team has a defense. So that's gonna be
Oh man,
interesting. That game Sunday is gonna be interesting. So yeah, looking forward to that.
yeah, same. I just again, and we just keep preaching it. We're 3-6 right now, and I am as about as happy as I could be as a Bears fan. So it
Yeah.
just tells you everything you need to know about the situation.
And not only are we 3-6, but the Packers suck too. So and our future is brighter than the Packers right now.
Hey,
So look,
preach
I,
it,
I feel like
preach
it's a win-win despite the fact that we're 3-6.
it. Seeing Packers Twitter just burn to the ground
Yeah.
is so satisfying. Seeing
And,
them not know what to do with themselves
yeah, yeah. And shout out,
because
shout out to Erin, man. I say that's my favorite Packers fan. She is like she's
oh,
so realistic about her team. And I feel like she has to calm the fan base down. Her tweets are so funny, man.
you
Y'all
know
need to go follow her.
I do appreciate her. She's a self-deprecating Packers fan that has no problem making fun of her own team
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
trashing her own team, which
exactly.
I appreciate so much
Yep,
because
yep.
there are way too many people that take themselves way too
Oh
seriously
my
on that damn
God,
app. That
that's
think that
true.
they're analysts and game film review people, and like it's just that app has just gotten crazy when it comes to
Yeah.
football fans. So yeah,
True.
she's a great follow,
Yeah.
even for Bears fans. She's hilarious. We'll have to get her on for a Packers show, Bears Packers show. That'd be
No
dope.
doubt.
Anyway, yeah, that's Bears versus Dolphins for you.
Yeah.
We broke it down in the best way. Don't listen to any other Bears podcast because we did it. We did it the best way, and you're welcome.
Yeah.
Before we end the podcast, though, we do have a segment that we like to call Wreck of the Week,
Record of the week.
where we just give a recommendation of anything that we want for the week. So, Bruce, you go first.
Oh, I was about to say you go first because I've been
No,
excited to.
yeah, no,
You want
I'm
to say
building
the
up.
best?
I'm
Okay,
building
all
up.
right,
I'm building up the hype for mine.
cool. Okay, I was excited. You know what? Honestly, man, I spoke on this earlier in the beginning of the show. My record of the week, recommendation of the week is just take care of yourself mentally. Just take care of your mentals, man. Like that. It's funny, but it's just like I just feel like the climate right now in this world in the United States on social media, it's just so toxic and so like it's just too much. And so people, please don't take this social media thing serious. Enjoy it. Like you it's cool to have an opinion, but just understand your opinion's not right. It's an opinion. We all have one. But don't let it get to the point where it affects your mental. So my recommendation is just take care of your mental, man. Just don't take stop taking everything so it's a lot of serious issues in this world. Like we know that. It's a lot of
Yeah,
crazy things that's happening, but the stuff that celebrity says, the certain celebrities do, their opinions. Don't look. whatever. So what? Take care of yourself. Take care of the stuff that's going on in your life. Love on the people that's in your life, and enjoy life, and stop being so going crazy on the things that other people say, or their opinions on this, and this NBA player said this, and this rapper said this, and this. I mean, like, life is too short, right? We lost um God,
Take off.
take off, last week, and it's just like, life is too short, man. It's too short. So my recommendation again is just to take care of your mental. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I make this mistake every freaking time. Letting you go first. Mine's a video game. Shout out to God of War. I'm going first from now on.
Told you, bro.
I'm
I
not letting
was
you
trying
go
because I
first
was
no
hyped
more.
for yours too, man. I was so hyped for yours. You said, okay, all right. Well, you want to talk? Oh my god. Oh
Well,
man. Every
mine.
time,
Shout out to
bro.
all my gamers out there,
No
man.
doubt.
For all my PlayStation gamers, because this is a PlayStation exclusive game, but it's called God of War Ragnarok. It's a game that we have been looking forward to since 2018, since
Mm,
the last God of War came out. This is the sequel. It's in my top 3 favorite games of all time. The last God of War. Basically, Bruce, I know you're not a huge gamer, so I'll just give you a quick background.
okay.
Basically, you have this dude who is he's the son of Zeus.
Hmm.
He's not Hercules. Okay, his name is Kratos, but he's a god killer.
Mm,
He kills all these different, like Zeus and Poseidon, and I forget what the name of those kind of gods are, but you know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Those
yeah,
those
yeah.
kind of gods. He's known as a god killer. Uh, in the first couple games of God of War, that's what he's known as. So later on in the series, he ends up having a kid with another goddess. Uh, and so now he's not a god killer anymore. Now he's like trying to settle down as like this old ass, super strong warrior god guy who has
Hmm.
a son who's trying to bring him up and trying to teach him the god life, but also teach him to be good and forget his past. And
Right.
it's craziness. For those of you out who know, you know how hype this game has been, and it comes out tonight at 11 p.m. I already told my wife you're going to be a single parent for a couple days because I am going to be
Shout
stuck
out
in the
to Becca.
basement.
Shout out to Becca for just being like, whatever. All
uh,
right.
I'm kidding, of course. I love you, babe. I'll come up to say hi a couple times.
She slides your food
uh,
underneath underneath the
underneath the
basement.
basement door.
Just
Oh god. The
oh
second place she
man.
gives me falls down the stairs because
Right,
she's sick and
right.
tired of my shit. Um, but no, yeah, I'll be doing that for the next couple of days. No one
Dope.
text me, no one call me, no one talk to me because I'm gonna be doing that.
Sam will put it out there right now.
Yeah,
I ain't
I'll put
answering no nothing.
do not disturb mode. But yeah, that's it. So Bruce gives you take care of your mentals, and I give you a video game. On that note, it's a great episode.
Oh man, the balance that you get on this show is amazing. So
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
That's why we need to be. Some podcast network needs to pick us up because
Just pick us up.
there's no
We ready.
podcast duo out there like us.
Exactly.
And shout out to my guy Paul, our guy Paul. He says amazing game. He knows. He knows. He knows.
Shout out to P.
Oh, before I let y'all go, before we end the podcast, I just want to give an announcement. Bear Down Breakdown is on TikTok.
Meow meow meow
Go
meow.
follow us. We're releasing some content out there. Shout out to my little brother Jeremy. We've hired him. He's working for free. We've hired him as a editor for us, and he's been putting out some video content out on YouTube and TikTok for us. He's been
Great
doing a great
job.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first video he put out, we got like 1,000 views and like over 50 likes, and not that, not and not and not in a short time.
Right.
He got just crazy amount of views. So he knows what he's doing. He's a young kid who knows all of that stuff.
Part of
He's
the
doing a great
team,
job with that.
of the brand.
Yep, he's part of the squad. Bear Down
Yeah.
Breakdown, our first hired
I know.
crew member who's working for free.
Shout out to Jay.
Shout out to Jeremy. But yeah, go follow us on TikTok, Bear Down Breakdown. We'll put some more content out there. But yeah, that's it. That's it.
Thank you,
That'll do it.
guys.
Yeah, thank you to everyone, obviously, who viewed the live stream. We appreciate y'all so much. If you're listening in the old school way, the audio way, we appreciate you too. Just make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you do have a TikTok, you do look us up. Make sure you follow us. Just follow us everywhere. Twitter,
Everywhere.
Instagram,
Exactly.
Facebook.
Just don't
we
follow
got
us. Just don't follow us in real life. Like, don't come walking
Yeah.
up behind us and stalking us. Don't do
that
that.
too. Or don't listen to what we say in real life because
Yeah.
we're just a bunch of dummies.
Yeah. For the most part, yeah. We don't take ourselves too serious.
No,
So,
not
yeah.
around here. Anyway, thank you everyone, of course, as always. And we'll talk to you Thursday for the preview episode.
Peace.